Hey YouTube, Dan Ottawa here, and we are finally out of the Evolution Cup, and we are back into Great League. So here are 4 teams that you can use for Great League, 4 unique teams, 12 different Pokemon here. And what I did is, if you're new to this channel, or if you're around, you know that I have a team building series. So what I do is I basically pick one Pokemon, go over why it's strong in the meta, and then give you like 5 different teams to use. So I'll link that playlist in the description. But what I did in this video is I just chose 4 teams that I think are really strong based on one of each of those Pokemon. And I'm just going to focus on the matchups and how I play it so you know how to use it. Okay, so let us get into team number 1. Team number 1 is one that I'm probably going to start with, quite honestly, because even though you see a couple like big like Umbreon and Mandibuzz, I'll go over that in a second. Like, it's a pretty strong overall team. It's Defense Deox, Sableye, Noctowl. And basically, Defense Deox main weakness is going to be all your Ghost, right? Sableye, Renorigas, Trevenant, right? So you take those out with the 2 of sort of like the best counters to Ghost. Sableye, because it's half dark, and then Noctowl. Noctowl is a flyer, and that's also neutral, normal. Right, so you're triple resisting the Ghost. They can't do anything. So Noctowl is like, I just see with the Trevenant right there. It's an amazing answer to Trevenant, which is why I run it. So basically, how I play this team is I would stay mostly in this matchup unless you see a Ghost. And some of these losses, like Nidoqueen triple losses there, that's not true at all, right? You can throw 1 to 2 Psycho Boosts from Deox and then bail into your Sableye. And Sableye doesn't have like poison resistance, so like I don't like this triple losses there. And Mandibuzz and Umbreon, a little bit tricky. So Mandibuzz, the thing is with Defense Deox, you have like counter, which is neutral, and I'm running it with Thunderbolt. Or you run with Rock Slide if you want, but I just find Thunderbolt better coverage. It's gonna do a ton of chip damage on the Mandibuzz, and then same thing, the Noctowl, like you're not taking super effective on anything, right? So it's a close matchup. So even if you lose, it's not a hard loss. So I don't love that. I don't hate that sort of thing. But look, these across the board, like Scrafty wins across the board, Medicham wins across the board, 2 on Trevenant, 1 on Galarian Stunfisk, but like that Defense Deox, depending how low the Trevenant is. The problem with Defense Deox is you can't throw anything on the Stunfisk because all your moves are resisted. So it's one of those things where what you could do is just counter a bunch and then switch into like Sableye or something. Obviously, Noctowl is going to have the biggest weakness to like Bastida and stuff like that. So hopefully you don't align it with that. Why I'm running Noctowl as a flyer as opposed to Altaria or Skarmory. At least you have Shadow Ball to throw at these things, right? So that's kind of what I like about that. And I also like the triple coverage on the Trevenant there, just to wall it completely. So that is probably team number 1 I'm going to use. If you see me, do not snipe me. But I do have other teams I can use. So speaking about Trevenant, this is sort of an ABB style team. It is your Azumarill with Hydro Pump and Ice Beam, Umbreon and Trevenant. So I think the double Ghost line, Azu, Trevenant, and maybe Sableye was, I think Doe made that. So you can run that team. It's just a modified version of that team. Basically, Azumarill, look at that. Even with Hydro Pump down the board, again, Azumarill is just so, if XL is so beastie, you're going to win almost all the matchups. Trevenant, the only problem, like I said, is Trevenant can get walled, right? You get a Mandibuzz in there as a flyer dark, you're in trouble. If you get the Noctowl in there, you're in trouble. So if you get a Walrein there, even though they're going to start picking up that matchup too, right? So I like Umbreon as a safe swap, even though there are like tough matchups. But like if you get hit with the Scrafty, for those of you who've done this matchup in the past before, like you can throw Last Resorts and chip it a ton, and then they won't have anything to throw at the Azu, and then your Trevenant can roam free. So it's an ABB style team. Umbreon as the safe swap, slash one I would draw out a counter user, or like hopefully you draw out like a Scrafty. Hopefully you draw out just other Pokemon that can deal with that, and then you have again double coverage for. You have double coverage on Sableye, which is good. You have double coverage on Stunfisk, which is good. Triple on Swampert, which is interesting there. That's kind of bait dependent. And then double on Medicham, and then look at that down the board. So like I really like this team as well. Super bulky, and I always say bulk is better, right? So Umbreon, Azumarill, super bulky in this meta. And yeah, so that's one worth trying out too. And again, I've done, so the first team was built around, I have I did a defense Deox. Who's on that team? Yeah. So I did defense Deox and a Sableye actually. So I did defense Deox and Sableye team building series. So you can go check those out. And in this team, I've done a Azumarill and Trevenant team building series. So you can go check out those videos if you want more options for those Pokemon. The third is, okay, so this one, I'm not sold on it. And you can play it one of two ways depending how you want what you're seeing in the meta. And this is, go back to my video yesterday, when do you switch your team? So the team is Altaria, Vigoroth, Swampert. Basically, Altaria is very underrated right now, I think, in my opinion. You just need to watch out for a few things. Ice in the Walrein, the Steels, Galarian Stunfisk and Registeel, and Bastiodon, and then Charm, Ninetales, which isn't on here right now, are the main things you need to worry about. So Vigoroth is a safe swap. If you haven't got tired of the Evolution Cup, was a safe swap for a reason, right? Could deal with all those steals down the board. And even in bad matchups, like you're spamming those body slams. If you have not played Evolution Cup, it comes very quickly. 5 counters, body slam, 5 counters, body slam, all the way through. So even in bad matchups, you're getting sort of shields. The problem with this team is the Trevenant, right? Because your Vigoroth does not have anything to throw at the Trevenant. Everything is resisted. And the Swampert's just going to get lit up by the Trevenant. So if you're seeing a bunch of Trevenants in the back, this team is just like an auto loss. So how you could adjust this team, and here's the trade-off. You can put in Lickitung for Vigoroth. So what Lickitung is going to do is allow you to take that Trevenant matchup, give you more there, but then it'll give you a little less coverage down the board on other Pokemon like the Steels, like the Registeel, Galarian Stunfisk. So those are the trade-off. That's how you have to do it. Obviously, I paired... the thing is, like, I'm just putting a safe swap in the middle, right? Because Altaria and Swampert are going to work together very, very nicely because you have the Altaria was the flyer, and then you have Swampert, which will deal with all those hard wins against the Registeel, Bastiodon, Galarian Stunfisk, and that's why you pair, because those are the biggest weaknesses for Altaria. So really, Vigoroth is a safe swap. Like, figure out what safe swap you want to use instead if you don't want to use Vigoroth. So Swampert isn't, not Swampert. Lickitung is the option. And the last team, so I've done on that one, Altaria, Vigoroth, and Swampert. So I've done team building series on all 3 of those already. So go check out those videos if you want more team options. And the last one you haven't seen yet, because I have not built on Metachamp, I have not built on Walrein yet, but Venusaur team building is coming tomorrow. So if you want to check out the Venusaur teams, hit that subscribe button because those are coming out tomorrow. So Venusaur, Walrein. So the team you're going to see tomorrow is actually Venusaur, Walrein, Bastiodon. It's an ABB style team, right? So use Walrein to draw out the fighter, because Walrein will still spam with the body slam spam, and then Venusaur will punish, and then Metachamp brooms in the back. I switched it for Metachamp here to give you more coverage, because like the Bastion matchup is interesting here, because like you're obviously going to lose with the Walrein, but like the Venusaur says it's a loss in the 1 shield. It is, but it's a win in the 2 shields, I think. So like that's a little fake. The problem with this is you're double weak to Trevenant here, and that's why actually going with the Bastiodon is better, but then you lose other things like instead of winning the Scrafty here, you lose the Scrafty. Instead of winning the Metachamp here, you lose the Metachamp, right? So it's how you want to play that thing. Same thing, this Metachamp, this loss to Venusaur, this losing, your Venusaur losing Metachamp. One, they need, no, they can have Psychic too. I was going to say speed dependent, but I guess not if they have Psychic. But you're still going to chip so much there. So Venusaur was... I mentioned in my video tomorrow, is made popular because it was one of the top Pokemon on one of the top teams of the World Pokemon Championships. Because like it deals with almost everything except for flyers and like the mirror match like grass type Pokemon. Yeah, that's not totally true, but like Trevenant is the main issue there. Even if that matchup is actually not as bad as you think it is. I've played that matchup, mirror match, before, and Venusaur, even with Frenzy, does like 50%. So don't be too thrown off by that matchup there. Yeah, but you're weak to flyers, right? So you need to counter to flyers, which is why Walrein is a nice answer to counter those flyers. Like, takes out the Mandibuzz, takes out the Altaria, takes out the Trevenant, and then you need a third. So I did ABB, but you can do Metachamp just for more coverage on the board overall, but less on the Trevenant. So trade-off depending on how you want to build a team. So that is it. Those are 4 teams. So you'll see the Venusaur team building series tomorrow with a bunch of team options there. And then I'm going to grind the crap out of Great League because I lost a lot of ELO in the back end when I had a double. Now, okay, so thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one. Those of you who want to hear the rant at the ending, here we go. So I was up to 28-10, and then the Vigoroth Chansey lineup showed up everywhere. So I counted that with a Vigoroth, a Graveler team, which was a nice option, but I couldn't get the first Pokemon. I tried Golbat, I tried Dragonair, I tried Zweilous, I tried Dusclops, I tried Piloswine, I tried everything in the front, could not get it to work. And then the problem was a Graveler is going to get walled by the dragons too. So if they had like a double dragon team or a dragon Vigoroth Chansey team, like I was just done. So that was very frustrating. I dropped like 300 ELO. I was down to like 2,500. I went like 8-2 to end the day, so I'm up to like high 2,500s now. But yeah, we gotta grind back here. So I will grind a few of these teams. I'll let you know which ones work early next week, and then yeah, we'll get into maybe some of the other PV poke build. How do you PV poke and team build other team building Pokemon? If you want me to do any other team building Pokemon, let me know which ones. And that's it. So thanks for you listening to my rant, and I will see the rest of you in the next one.